Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of my Airline Tycoon Let's Play with Pheonix Travel. In today's episode, I am literally letting the game run because I want to see how much money I'm making. We're also very close to taking over another airline, and we're also on a sabotage mission which I forgot to complete or continue in the last episode. So per night, right now we're on 4.5 million. Then as we can see there, we've gone all the way up to 5.2 million, so we're making about 700k per night consistently, so 5.2, we should get to around 5.9, hopefully tonight. Yep, so we near enough actually got all the way to 6 million, so we're doing very, very good in terms of the profit margins. I'm getting hit a lot by sabotage though, so let's go ahead and start off by addressing that and go to the security office. I also want to go ahead, and I started some sabotage stuff. I captured a spider and took a dart in the last episode, but I got distracted at the end and didn't really finish that. Anyway, I want security. The security has been removed, which is weird, so that's what I want to do. And we'll also monitor the route as well now, just because we've got two routes, but I'm not really bothered about anything else there, so let's go ahead and exit out of that. Right, so where were we at the end of the last episode? That's the question. I was basically going ahead and trying to buy at Honey Airlines, which we'll check on the bank in a second. My route capacity is looking very good there with Singapore to Perth at 76%, though we are really down on the Singapore to Bangkok, which is unfortunate. That's us also just ticked over to 6 million, which is good. So let's go back to the wee sabotage mission we were running there. So I clicked the dart from the moose's head, so now I have a dart in my inventory. What I want to do is I want to take the dart to the advertising agency. Arguably I want to revisit there anyway, because I want to continue to see how my new route is doing. The route which goes from Singapore to Perth. Oh dear. Right, okay, so that's my problem. Right, so this problem is actually quite easy to solve, but my staff are really shit. Like, I need to sort this out quite badly, because I've got a really bad personnel percentage. Though again, I'm not really at all sure on what's good staff and what's bad staff. What I can do very quickly to prevent this strike is increase the salary, or I could tell the people they have to work, or I will fire them. Yeah, let's do that. If you think so, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm going to start firing people anyway, because a lot of people are really just not pulling their weight at all. I need to actually have a look at that. Right now, if we go ahead, I want to jump forward into tomorrow. I'm not going to be getting good money overnight if I've just gone ahead and said that, but if we run the simulation for a day, yeah, we sort of stayed still. The big thing is our personnel's at 57%. It's pathetically low, so we're really going to have to address that issue this episode. We're going to have to come back to the sabotage thing because I just don't have time for that right now. Right, okay, so let's go ahead and start to fire people because we're going to need to. I'm not happy with this at all, and I am happy to increase the salary by 10% when my employees are just a bit better. But they're not right now, so... Right, okay, satisfaction 38%. I mean, that's awful. All in all, actually, it's not too bad. It's 60%, so we can increase that. But we're going to fire you. Then, do I have... Or do I need another... I must need some more staff. I'm probably going to have to hire some more staff anyway, so I'm expecting to do that. So that's pilots dealt with. I don't know if I need to hire another pilot automatically. Your satisfaction's 40%, 49. See, this is all just dragging me down, you know? 69, 62, 68, 68, 62. All in the 60s, though you're a 38, so we'll get rid of you. Get rid of you. And then... There we go. Right, so we need to hire a lot more staff. So now that the bad staff have gone, I'm going to increase the salary of all staff by 10%. The staff will be glad to hear that, which is good. Right, so now we're missing some staff members, which I need to go ahead and address. The Cuxhaven and the Erfurt are not flying right now, so we need to get 2 more attendants on the Erfurt, and then we also need 1 more. So we just need 3 more attendants actually, which is easy enough to get. So let's jump into here, flight attendants, 12 applications. before I do anything here, actually, let's look at advisors again. No advisors. I would like a HR advisor. I had that in my previous series with Falcon Lines, and they suggested which staff were good or bad, because I could really do with that right now. So very talented at $5,200. Very highly gifted, above average. Quite an interesting field pool here, actually. Let's go for, I've seen a few very talented, so I think we'll go for you. And there was also one at the start as well. And then there was a very highly gifted, so welcome to the team, Clara Demigs. So that solves that problem, though. Your satisfaction is 49%, so right, hopefully that's going to partially address the issue for the time being anyway, though we'll just have to see how things go. I don't think the Cuxhaven wants to run because we still need another attendant. Right, great. I need to get one ASAP here, or that flight is not gonna fly. So I'm looking for flight attendants, please. There's not many people that are that great. Is a very talented, is a former model but doesn't speak. I mean, these bios, I didn't read the bios there, but the bios aren't great. Okay, well maybe take you on actually. Welcome Phil to the team. Right, so that should solve some of my staffing issues. I need to look at that more closely. But it looks like, okay, so that rent is now cleared and all the planes are back into action, which is good. Right, phew. So we can get back onto our sabotage mission now. Because the advertising agency, I'd want to go into here for two reasons. Basically, we're going to hand over the darts and we're going to get a floppy disk for the notebook. So that means if I get any viruses in my notebook, then I can go ahead and protect that. Thanks again in the last episode to Sebstar for the recommendation of that. I have done a little bit of sabotage, but not really a lot in this series. I did quite a bit last series, to be fair, but I guess I've really been focusing on my own game this series. I also will need to go ahead and check the bank shortly as well, because we're at that stage where we're getting very, very close to buying out Honey Airlines as well, which I want to go ahead and do. Alright, so let's jump in here. Now, what is up? How do we do this? Do I click and drag? I do. Darts, okay, because you have a dartboard, that makes sense. Now, where is the floppy disk? That is the question. Is it that there? Nope, though that is a floppy disk. That floppy disk there? Sure, if I need it again, I'll ask you. Right, yep, there we go, that's perfect. So that is me now protected on my notebook anyway. I would like to improve the image of one of my routes. Singapore to Perth, image is at 4%, so it's quite low, so that's probably why. What I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead and spend 1.4 million on that. I want a gigantic campaign, everything, so that should drastically and very quickly go ahead and increase the passenger satisfaction, or the, I guess a mixture. Also will affect the capacity use as well, which is very, very important. Anyway, so jumping back into the office now, as we can see, things are back to normal, which is nice to see. I'm quite happy. All rounds, the profit margins are doing not too bad, though I'm still not getting any increase really on the first class passengers on the Bangkok Singapore. As we can see, it's still /7 pretty much consistently, /5, /3, where I'm really wanting /14. So we'll have to go ahead and work on that a bit. Again, it's all really about money, and the real money drive right now is all to do with what's going on with Honey Airlines, because that is very, very important. Right, let's jump down into Honey Airlines, and let's go ahead and see how things are right now. So your shares have crashed again, they're down at $38. Right now, I mean, we could just possibly go for this, because we really are not that far away. The one big thing to note is how much money have you got in your account? Well, you've also got 95 million. It's mental how much you and Falcon have. So what I think I want to do, if I go ahead and maybe overspend, i.e. I spend 6 million to buy out Honey Airlines, then I'll inherit that 95 million. So it's all really going to be, I don't know, quite strange. It's going to be, it's very much worth the investment. So let's go ahead, and I would like to buy some stocks. Honey Airlines, 21%. How much do I need? I need, what, 16%? So I can actually do it now. Because that would take me to 51, which would then mean I am the main shareholder. Mario owns less than 30%, that's one of the conditions. So that means I would like to go ahead and execute my shareholder rights. You can take over or liquidate another airline if you own at least 50% of the stocks and the airline concerned owns less than 30, which in our case is true. Which airline are you dealing with here? I want to go ahead and deal with Honey Airlines. Do you want to liquidate or take over the company? I want to go ahead and... I've always done take over and I do feel that's the best. Though... I want the assets, sell everything that's not nailed down and fire the people. Because that would give me a clean slate to start off with. Right, let's go ahead and actually have a look at what you've got, because that's probably a better idea here. So, first of all, this is all just accounts. Though all in all, you are worth a lot of money. With regards to how much money you have in your actual account, you have 94 million, I have 192,000, which is quite a contrast. You do have a very low share rate, though that doesn't really concern me anymore. This is the interesting thing. So you have 14 planes, which I imagine a lot of them are older planes. You only have one route though, and I'm interested to know what that is. You have a lot of branch offices, which I mean I'm not really about that game that much. With regards to flights, that's not important. Orders, none of that is important. So it's really concerning the planes and the routes. Do I want to inherit 14 planes, or do I want to be able to just go out and buy planes and do what I want? I'm actually going to inherit everything, because I just want to... It's kind of fun dealing with it all. So let's execute my shareholder rights, Honey Airlines, and then let's go for... I'd like to take over. So there we go. Right, this won't be ready until tomorrow, so what I need to do is I need to go upstairs and I need to go ahead and take over into tomorrow. And then this will all, because it's such a big thing, it really does need a new day for it all to settle in. So let's go ahead and jump forward to tomorrow. Pheonix Travel, the papers will be headline news. I can't cancel this briefing, so let's go ahead and continue through it. So good morning, it's nice you're all on time. I don't know why I'm saying this when he's saying it, so I'll let you listen in.
Honey Airlines,
which makes him the main owner of the airline. Yesterday,
Pheonix Travel,
decided to take over.
Honey Airlines,
All planes, licenses, and assets belong to
Pheonix Travel,
from now on. All employees will also be taken over. For
Honey Airlines.
this means the end of his career. I'm sorry, you will have to look for a new job. Good luck. Nevertheless, we will have to begin our briefing. Let's start with
Sunshine Airlines.
I am actually...
Right, so that's all the good bit over essentially. So as we can see, my bank account has drastically changed. As you can see, the news is very much all good for Pheonix Travel. So we now have 3 airlines in the game, which is interesting to see. So before I do anything, because before I go into that office it's going to be a right mess, there's one thing I just want to check, because what happens if I can buy another airline straight away? Then that would be interesting, wouldn't it? So my share price has gone drastically up. With regards, you only own 70%, you both only own 70% of your airlines. Sunshine would obviously be the next obvious one to go for, though I don't know if Tina will ever sell up that much. Tina isn't that rich based on her bank account though, actually. If we're having a look here, she only has like 4 million, 5 million, so I mean that was very much me yesterday, but not anymore. Right, so what I want to do is, I only own 1% of my airline. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, that's why, no wonder, yeah, that makes sense, because I've obviously inherited all the shares now as well, which is a big problem, so I didn't really think this through, did I? Yeah, right, we need to go ahead and buy a lot of my own stocks, and they're really high right now as well. So that's going to cost me 40 million outright, but it's very much worth it. So let's go ahead and do that, buy 50 of my own stocks. That means now, whoa, I've never seen a share price that high. So we're up at 51 now, I own my airline, that's the main thing. Let's go into the office now and let's start to really, I guess, just work through everything, because obviously there is a lot going on. Right, okay, so this is where things start to get interesting, and this is where things are going to be very influential and important. So the route that they must have had must have been the same as one of my routes, because I've not inherited any new routes, which is interesting. So we need to now go ahead and sort out these planes, because this is very important. This is where things get interesting. So what I'm wanting to do is have a look for the types of planes, because there's a lot of these planes I would actually very much like myself going forward, and I want to use them. A lot of these planes are in good condition, and I have the money to go ahead and actually sort them out as well. So, but I mean, where do we start? Where do we start? Okay, so do we actually also inherit the gate as well? Yes, we do, and that's very important actually, because we're really going to need that, I feel, going forward, just as we're using this airport as a base. Right, so let's go in here. I need to actually see what I want to keep and what I want to get rid of. So we've got the Borkum, which is a 777, so we'll keep you for long range. The Barul, which is not very ideal at all, I would say. I mean, the range isn't bad, but the consumption isn't ideal and the passengers aren't good at all. So what we're going to do is going to go ahead and sell you. Next plane on the agenda is the Kela, maybe, which isn't too bad. So that's a 6-7, so I'm happy to keep that. Then we've got this one, which I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. You are a quite high consumption rate, so I think we will go ahead and sell you, just based on the fact that I'm not wanting to run planes, which is just not worth it. We learned that a few episodes ago. We've got the Friestete, possibly. Again, I'm probably pronouncing all these wrong, but it is fun. You're a 3-7, so that's fine. We've got a Gera here, which is a 5-7, so that's fine. Göttingen, maybe? So that is a... I mean, that's not bad at all, actually. It's really not. But it's maybe just a bit small on the inside. That's the only problem. The passenger numbers aren't bad. The range is very low as well, so it'd be ideal for something like a route to Bangkok or Mail. But at the same time, it's not carrying a lot of passengers, so it's not very... Though, I mean, it really doesn't need much, does it, with regards to pilots? We'll keep it, actually. I tell you what, we'll keep that. Now we've got the Heilbronn. I mean, again, that's totally wrong. This is a DC-10. I'm actually going to get rid of the DC-10. Even though it's got really good passenger numbers, it's just not... I don't really want to, I don't think, run any DCs here. I think it's really mainly going to be the Boeing family and Airbus family, just because they seem to be the best, and I do really want to go for efficiency here. You do need to remember that. Right, so we've got the Hassam. That's good, because that's a 737, which is fine. The Kirkberg, which is a Airbus 310, which I'm happy with. The Kerfeld, which is a 37, which I'm happy with. The Limburg is a 310, which I'm happy with. Then we've got a Russian plane, which we are going to get rid of, because I'm not interested in that. The stats aren't that good. So let's go ahead and sell that. I'm not actually sold them yet. I need to go sell them. I'm just writing them down as I go through them. And then we've also got this one here, which is, again, it's not too bad a plane, but I think we are going to get rid of it. The Wolfsburg. They have quite a good football team, actually, so that's one of the ones that I can pronounce quite easily. Alright, so let's go ahead and, first of all, go to the museum, because that means that we can go ahead and sell... I think we've got about 5 planes to sell here, so that means I can probably raise a bit more money. And then I want to fix up my old planes and then get... I need to really just categorize everything by routes and planes and then really just go from there. Right, so let's talk to you. I'd like to sell a plane. And we're going to start off here alphabetical order. So the Brule, that's 9 million. So yep, that's very nice actually. I wonder how much I'll make from all this, because I'm really unsure. So the next plane is the... this one here, which I can't pronounce. So price, that's going to be 9 million. So we could really make like maybe 40 million here, which would be great, and go back up to original I need to keep hitting on sell, not buy. We could go back to our original bank account, which we had when we actually inherited the airline, which is good. Right, so this one's the next to go, the Heilbronn, or something along those lines. Next, we've got the... the Shell Wig, which will do. So off you go. I'm not getting a lot of money for you, to be fair. Only 3 million, and I like to sell another plane, and it's the Wolfsburg, which is 5 million. So, right, we've done well there. We've gained about 35 million all in all, which I'm very happy about. So now back to the office, and let's go ahead and start to sort out the planes and see what condition they're in, because they're all going to need to be repaired. What I want to do now is I want to make some changes with regards to, let's come out of that. I'm going to jump forward into tomorrow actually, just based on the fact that the game needs to update a wee bit. So there we go, so our personnel's up at 92%, which is bloody fantastic, though our planes are down, but that's really solved the personnel issue, which is good. Right, okay, so, for example with this Bamberg here, I think we might actually sell the Bamberg, because what I want to do for short haul is use 737s, and we've got some of these 737s now which we can go ahead and use. Arguably I'm not at all sure what is a 737, but we can go ahead and use them. Or we can use the Airbuses actually, the A310s, because they're a decent size. And now we're actually going to start to rename our planes by routes as well, because we're now at that stage. So this is going to be Bangkok, Singapore. How do you spell Bangkok? I know it's spelled Bangkok. Bangkok, Singapore. I'm just going to be going from Singapore anyway, so I'm just going to put Bangkok. And the Bangkok, I don't even need to give it, I guess, a number anymore, just based on seats, because we're really just going to be flying routes predominantly from now on now. So that's the Bangkok 1. Which is perfect, so that's now been renamed. And that means now we can go ahead and start to put lots of Bangkok flights onto this. So this is going to become our main Bangkok plane, just because it's a bit bigger than the A320. Right, okay, so let's go ahead and fill this up. So we're starting off in Singapore, Bangkok. We might get some gating issues, which is understandable, however, I'm not too bothered by it for the time being. So let's go ahead and fill this up quickly. Hopefully we can go ahead and just hit this button now. Yep, that will do. That saves me a lot of time. So Bangkok, Singapore in there, and then duplicate again. I can't quite, but we'll sort that out another day. So the Bamberg, what I want to do is I just want to empty this. I'm going to sell it. It's just too small a capacity plane with regard to passengers, so not that there's anything too wrong with it at all, but it just needs to go, unfortunately. I would like to try and actually decrease probably my, I guess, plane amount a little bit more, or my plane count. The fleet size is what I'm trying to say, just based on the fact that we are not really in any need at this stage, I don't think, for all these planes. Until I have a need for them, I can go ahead and buy planes back or buy new planes, because there's no point in me repairing planes and then just selling them. That's probably going to be a loss of money, so unless I've got use, there's a lot of good planes as I've gone over there, but there's a lot of them which I could just get rid of as well, and I guess are just going to be sitting around just wasting money. I do want to take a few new routes very quickly actually, and we'll do that shortly, however it's just going to take a while to really process through everything here. Right, okay, so that's that sorted, so I'm just very quickly going to write down that we are going to be selling the Bamberg, which is fine, and that now, just because this only has, what, 119/14, whereas the new Bangkok 1 will be able to handle 187/31, so that's so much better, and it will really allow us to be just that little bit more profitable. The Bamberg's never been making that much money anyway, only about 12,000 per flight, which, I mean, it all adds up, true, yes, but at the same time, not the greatest. Right, so what's the Cuxhaven? The Cuxhaven is at A310. What? Whoa. The Bangkok 1, is that also an A310? It is, interesting. So, we could actually, if we got another A310. Wow, we could, I mean, that's for long haul though, but the amount of passengers you can get on that is crazy. What I want to do for medium range is maybe use the A310s actually, and use them to fly down to Maybe put just like 2 of them, for example, and just assign 2 planes to fully do the Perth to Singapore and Singapore to Perth. Ideally, I think they would be best on the A310s. So let's very quickly go ahead and have a look and find another A310, because I've got a strong feeling that I do have another A310 somewhere. Though, which plane is it? That's the question. So it's this one here. So you're now going to become the Perth 1, essentially, which works out fine. So you're the Perth 1, which I need to fix up. And then the Cuxhaven is going to come the... rename you, and you're now the Perth 2, which is good. So that means now we've got 2 planes dedicated to flying backwards and forwards to Perth, and that should allow us to really go ahead and continue to strive. So let's first of all sort out the Perth 2, because its scheduling is a bit wonky. That was basically just based off how poor the gating was. However, we can go ahead and sort that out now. So let's put an extra flight in there, and then let's put another Perth to Singapore. It needs to be in there. So that fills up that beautifully. So that's the Perth 2 sorted, and the Perth 1 should be really easy to sort. Perth to Singapore. Well, let's do a Singapore to Perth first to be that little bit more profitable. So that should now mean that this route's capacity is pretty much at 100% going forward, and we're also taking some first and second class as well, which is good to see. Let's duplicate that, which is perfect. So that's the Perth 1 and 2 now sorted, so that's that route wholly sorted, and that should hopefully be the Bangkok route sorted as well. I'm not really at all sure if we need another flight for the Bangkok route. We'll have to see on the daily requirements, but we're also still flying the Erfurt as well. What is the Erfurt? It's a 757, so very, very good plane, and I still want to use it, but probably just not on anything right now, which is fine. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to jump forward to tomorrow. So how much money do we make? We go from 76 million to 76 million, which is great. I understand right now I need to sort out advertising. There's so much stuff when you take over an airline you need to sort out. What's the problem? It's not staffing issues. That's the thing. It might be strike issues or something like that. Again, I'm not at all sure what the issue is there at all. It's definitely not staff, because we've got arguably too many staff right now. It's got to be striking issues. I've not checked my mail like all series, so... Problems arose during the landing inspection of Perth 2. It will take some time before the plane is like... Right, okay, so that's the next problem I need to deal with, is mechanical issues, because I really need to go ahead and upgrade the planes that are damaged that I'm using, because very much my planes originally were all in good condition, but the ones I've inherited aren't in great condition at all. So the 2 Perth planes I need to sort out, the Bangkok 1 and the Erfurt, which could actually just become the Bangkok 2. I'm actually going to rename it Bangkok 2 for simplicity right now. But we'll also need like a mail plane, for example. I also want to start flying to Melbourne in this or the next episode, so these are really important. Right, so we've got 2 Bangkoks. We need to sell the Bamberg, which we'll go ahead and do now, and then I also need to sort out the 2 Perth routes. So currently we've only actually got 4 planes flying 2 active routes. So we've actually not got a lot, but I think we've really made things a lot more efficient going forward, which is good. So let's now go to all the way along here. Let's get you on the move, and let's go ahead and start to repair some of these planes, because it is about time. I think that if we go ahead and at least just focus right now, get the planes we're currently using up to 100%, then that's fine, and then we'll worry about the other planes as time goes on. So I would like to please repair the planes as follows. So let's go for Bangkok 1, 100%. Bangkok 2, 100%. It's so good that I can now go ahead and spend all this money on repairing planes. Let's go for 100% for you, and then 100% for you, which is good. So I mean, that's going to cost me, what, 10 million, but it's very much worth it in the end. So eventually all these targets are 70%. We will go ahead and increase these as time goes on. Right, so we can close that. That'll take a wee while to take effect, probably a day or two. Looks like we've got some planes leaving now. We've got a plane leaving to Bangkok shortly, and then we've also got the Perth plane leaving at 12 o'clock as well, which is nice to see. I actually want to check the departure board and see if things have changed a lot, or really what's happening there, because it would be kind of interesting if you could hurry up. I realise the airport's also got a lot longer in length now that there's extra departure gates as well. That always adds to the length. My guy's just having a casual stroll. So yeah, as we can see, we've got a lot of arrivals, and we could even have more departures on this board if it showed them, but it doesn't, unfortunately. So all go anyway, mainly using gate 3, but we've got all the way up to gate number 6 now, which is really, really nice to be able to use. And in the next 2 or so episodes, there's going to be massive expansion anyway, so it is very important that you stick around for that. So make sure you are subscribed and you've got that notification bell turned on. Right, let's speed you up because you'll take years to get along here. You really didn't, surprisingly. Anyway, let's go ahead and sell the good old Bamberg. We didn't have you for too long, but you were good. You did your job. You did your job, but there's planes that can now do your job better, so I might as well just be a little bit more efficient and profitable. Now let's run into the bank actually. I just want to see if there's been any changes in my share price. I imagine it must go back down, because at $188 it's going to be extremely difficult to sustain that. But I might actually go ahead and buy some more shares in these other airlines, Falcon and Sunshine. Yeah, we've come down quite a bit as we can see, so I could actually buy some more of my own, which is probably a good thing to do. Sunshine's share prices is really cheap as well actually, so we'll go ahead and see how we get on there, but I just want to buy some more of my own. So let's go ahead and do that. 24% for 22 million, yeah, why not, that will do. I also want to go ahead and buy Sunshine as well. That's 14 for 33, Jesus, I mean, you've got so many shares issued. That's the thing, your share price is cheap, but Jesus Christ, it's really not worth it at all. Unless all of a sudden you are again in the position where you're about to go bankrupt, so, but I mean, from what I remember playing this game, that doesn't really happen that often. Okay, so we're back in here now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and jump forwards a few days and just let this game run a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode up here, ladies and gentlemen. This is important though, because I think we're just about to go down to 2 airlines.
There's been a sabotage incident at
Falcon Lines.
employees were talked into going on strike. That's an awful way to do business. I have irrefutable proof that
Sunshine Airlines.
is responsible for that incident. In the interest of my airport, I am not going to report you to the police. At least not if you pay a fine to
Falcon Lines.
You agree? That's good. But I'm warning you, don't ever try anything like that again. And on to the next topic on our agenda.
Alright, okay, so that's now been sorted out. So I thought she was actually getting struck out the game, but she's not, which is good and bad. But I think that there's not going to be too much changes in there anyway, so we can really now actually focus on our internal airline and really take that to the next level. We can go ahead and start to, I guess, work on building up routes, going ahead and working on capacity, getting good planes in action, because as we can see, 85% there and 63% there, so there's really a lot of work to be done going forward. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this episode up here, so thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, rate and subscribe if you are new around here. Go down into that comment section below, give me some feedback and I'll integrate it into future episodes. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that is all, so thank you very much for watching. My name is Bigfoot and I'm out.